Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here is the video for number 2 on the statistics practice quiz. Problem reads: find the mean, median, mode, the mean, mode, range, 5-number summary, and interquartile range of the data set and the stem and leaf plot below. Then make a box and whisker plot for the data set. Now, this stem and leaf plot is showing us our data set. The first 2 digits are the hundreds and tens digit, and then the leaf is the ones digit. So this reads 104, 107, 108, 108, 109, 110, 110, 111, 112, 114, 116, 117, 118, 119, 119, etc. This should make the mode relatively easy to spot. We look at the stem and leaf plot and we look for groupings of numbers. You'll notice that there are 3 2s listed in the 130 line. That would make the mode 132, which occurs 3 times. Now, that's the only one that in theory we cannot find with our calculator. Again, you all should have one of these checked out from Monday if you follow the advice of the email. Now, if you don't have it, it is possible to do all of these values by hand. You will need to email me to get information on how to do that, and it certainly will not be as easy. So again, what we do is we hit the data button on the calculator, this one right here, and we enter those numbers into the table function. There are 33 of them total. So when we finish entering our data into the table, it should be asking us for number 34. Then we hit second data and we hit enter 4 times to get us to the list. Remember that the second item in the list is the mean. The mean of this data set is 121. Again, that is number 2 in that list. The 5-number summary, which is the minimum, the lower quartile, the median, the upper quartile, and the maximum, are also listed in that list. They are numbers 7, 8, 9, A, and B in the list. The minimum is number 7. That is listed as being 104, which again, you should be able to just look and see that the minimum is 104. Number 8 is the lower quartile, or Q1. It is listed as being 111.5. The median is number 9. It is listed as being the number 121. The upper quartile is listed as A. It is listed with a value of 128.5. And the maximum is listed as the letter B. That is listed as 138. We need to pull those numbers first because we use those numbers to find both the range and the interquartile range. The range is the maximum minus the min. That would be 138 minus 104, which is 34. And the IQR is Q3 minus Q1. That would be 128.5 minus 111.5, which would be 17. So there are all of the values we're asked to provide. Now what we need to do is provide a stem and leaf plot. So we start off with a number line. I'm sorry, not a stem and leaf plot, a box and whisker plot. So we draw ourselves a number line. Doesn't need to be perfect. That number line needs to go from 100 to 140. I would suggest doing it by 5s or 10s. So let's say we do that this is 100, 110, 120, 130, 140. So 110, 120, 130, and 140. Now, as long as we are labeling properly, our number line can pretty much be any scale that we want it to be. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be placing a dot at the minimum, which is 104. So a dot at 104 and a dot at the maximum of 138. Now again, I would highly suggest that you are labeling this picture as you go. So up above it, we're just going to write minimum 104, maximum 138. Then we are going to put a vertical bar at the other 3 values in the 5-number summary. the lower quartile, the median, and the upper quartile. So 111.5 would be here-ish, 121, and 128.5. We're going to connect the tops of those three lines to form the box, and then connect the dots to the sides to form the whiskers. Once again, we need to label those three lines. The first line is Q1, which is 111.5. The second line is the median, which is 121. And the third line is the upper quartile, Q3, that's a 3, of 128.5. There's your box and whisker plot. That completes the problem and is the full required solution.